Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? Oh, it's supposed to be only cloudy today, but it's sunny. I actually really wanted to test out those 4PL filters, so I think I'll try that today. Who knows? If I have enough battery, maybe I'll try some other modes too. But so far, so good with all the tests. The only thing I noticed with the filters is that they are a really tight fit, so they're kind of hard to take off. Especially when you're like in a situation where you need to switch to filters, like in case you got the wrong one. As you all know, basically I'm still using one battery for my Mavic Pro, which really limits what I can shoot. That's why I have to really know what I'm shooting, be organized, because there's no real time to just fly just for the heck of it. Because if I'm in the at the location where I need to shoot, then I only have probably in reality maybe 21 minutes to shoot, even though the battery lasts 27 minutes, because as you know, it all comes back afterwards because it beeps like crazy. But since the batteries aren't really available, and plus they cost here at least over $100, I was always debating if it's better just to buy an external power pack that has kind of like an AC outlet. Now I've been looking at places like Amazon. I saw these RAV power chargers, but I don't think they've gotten that good of reviews, which makes me kind of a little bit iffy to purchase it. What I did see is there's a lot of, there's stuff for example, this Chargetech power outlet, which actually looked pretty good to me. And they all started as a crowdfunder. So that basically made me research a little more. And then I saw things like this Omnicharge, and apparently Chargetech's coming out with a new plug charger. And I was thinking, these actually sound like what I actually need. But the only thing that's making me a little hesitant is they're crowdfunded. And I don't know for you all, but when it comes to crowdfunding, there hasn't been a lot of positive news about crowdfunding projects, which kind of makes me oh, it's a risk. So it begs the question, is crowdfunding, safe, or is it a good idea for people like myself who want to invest in a product in hopes that you'll get something as advertised, if that makes sense? I know the first time I was interested in crowdfunding, it was actually for video game stuff. It was one created by these Mega Man creators. For you who don't play video games, it was basically a very popular franchise. And they created this one called Mighty Number 9. And when it started, whoa, everybody started funding this just because, everybody loved Mega Man games and they wanted the original creators to create something, that they remembered enjoying in the past. But I was debating, do I want to? Do I want to? Eventually I held off, and for me, fortunately, I guess it's fortunate that I did, because that project was plagued with delays after delays, asking backers for more and more money for things that seemed trivial. And from then on, people, they got a really bad taste in their mouth in terms of crowdfunding things like video game projects. And then moved later on, when I was kind of interested in drones, I saw that Lily drone. And the first time I saw it, I was like, holy smokes, this is what I want. Something that looks small, compact, it follows me and so forth. And again, I was like, should I plunk it, the money into this to invest in it? And again, I was holding off. I was like, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the company. The footages and stuff look good. But as all you may know, basically that Lily drone, apparently they're closing down recently, and they're going to refund all the backers. And from what I gather, I mean, when I was reading it, after tech shows like CES, here back in 2016, they're like, yep, it's going to be released soon. But apparently, as it turns out, now in the news that I read anyways, a lot of the footages they used weren't actually from the drone itself. It was used from GoPros and other DJI products, and so you have a lot of people basically saying, hey, that's deceptive, you fooled us, we thought you had a working prototype and all. So how do you trust these companies? Is it safe for a person to invest in these kind of products? I mean, even when I was looking for a phone stabilizer, for example, there was this one I was super interested in because it seemed pretty cheap for the smartphone and all that, and I was actually interested in investing in it first, which I actually did And afterwards, I was thinking though, again, this pitch video seems really gimmicky in an infomercial kind of way. They don't really show too much of the project. So in my mind, the first chance they don't meet the date, if there's any kind of delay, that's it, I'm pulling out. And that's exactly what I did. I pulled my money out of it, and fortunately I did, because they still haven't shipped it out to my knowledge. And now they're announcing they're making an even bigger product when they want people to put, more money into it. Oh. So things like this Omnicharge or this Chargetech, I don't know, it's a little less risky. It seems like the Chargetech, at least they had a product that was released, so maybe that, settles it a little bit. But even from reading the comments, I mean, it's kind of disturbing. People are like, where's my updates and all this? I don't know, what do you guys think? Is crowdfunding, worth it as a consumer Like, I know normally when you put your money into stuff like this, you're more like an investor. Whereas the way it's pitched nowadays and the way people put their money in, they treat it as if anyways, it's like an actual product you're buying from a store. Although it's not the same. Like, you are literally an investor risking your money into a company that, you know, might turn into vaporware for whatever reason. Have you guys had any success funding stuff before? Actually, another quick thing I wanted to test. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I had like a little microphone here. And what I wanted to test right now is I'm actually recording externally with one of my Tascam recorders, because sometimes, well, obviously the drone doesn't record in sound, and I'd like to at times like maybe record the sound around the area or while I'm talking. So I just wanted to see how this microphone fares like while the drone is actually flying, and if it picks up the sound or if I can talk clearly. And so I'm actually talking, you know, with the Tascam one right now, so you guys can kind of hear the quality. And just for fun, I'm just gonna quickly switch back and forth from the camera sound to the mic sound, so you guys can kind of see the difference, if there is any difference from this Tascam mic. I mean, the mic actually I'm using right now is not too expensive. I actually got 3 of them from Amazon for like $10 Canadian. So it's a pretty cheap mic. I was thinking of getting things like that Smart Lab and stuff, but they were actually sold out when I went to that closing out sale the other day. And I guess the other thing I want to test right now, just I'll switch it quickly, is I actually want to test how the mic sounds on the Sony cam, because you can actually attach a mic to this. So let me just try that right now. Okay, I actually have the mic attached to the Sony cam right now. So I'm guessing quality-wise, it might be a little better theoretically. Although I'm just gonna pull it out quickly just to see if it actually sounds better. So like 3, 2, 1. It's actually in now. Does it sound different? I know sound's usually important when I make like videos and stuff, because like they say, sound is over half of the experience. Another reason too, I was thinking of attaching a mic to the Sony cam instead of an external recorder is just the editing, the workload. I mean, having to sync the audio to the video and all that, it sounds like a lot of work. Well, that's an interesting test and a surprise. Another drone flyer. He was actually doing it for research purposes, basically marking points and stuff. I find it really fun actually when I see people using drones professionally for work and stuff. And then the conversation came up again and just about drone laws and stuff, where you're supposed to be allowed to shoot and all that. It's still so confusing. Because even here in Canada, they say, like, some people think it's a law, whereas if you go to the Transport Canada site, it says it's recommended. So like, okay, which is it? Is this a recommended guideline, or is it like a strict law? So that's just one of the confusing things. When I tested some of the filters, I did test the 4PL basically, and I think it was a little too bright, so it wasn't dark enough, so I switched to the 8PL. So again, you guys can kind of learn with me and see how it looks. I got the sound test and all. I'll actually edit it into this video. That might take a little bit of work, But again, just to see what's available for me whenever I do my drone shots or just walking out and so forth, for vlogging in general. Be exciting if I can bring it on to like rehearsals or sets and stuff like that too at times. Although usually because of all the NDAs I can't talk about film stuff, unfortunately, but we'll see. Alright, see you guys later.